Hey there, it's Liz from No Trace. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this super cute rainbow zipper pouch. It uses a paper pieced pattern, which you can get as a free download on my website. The link to snag this is in the description box below this video, so go ahead and grab it. And I also have another tutorial on here that walks you through how to use this paper piece pattern. So if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and watch that. Otherwise, this is a really fun and sweet little rainbow pouch. So let's go. In order to make the zipper pouch, you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric for the outside. This pattern piece is available on my website. It's a free PDF download, and I have a video which I will link to right here if you want to make this exact pattern piece. And you need a second piece for the outside that is 7.5 inches tall, 10 inches wide. You could definitely make 2 of these. I'm just going to be using one of the paper pieced pattern pieces and then one plain navy for the outside, 2 for the inside that are the same, 7.5 by 10. We have a 9-inch zipper, and I'm going to be using 2 pieces of organic cotton batting to give the pouch a little bit more body, but you don't have to do that. It's optional. I'm also going to be putting a little 3-inch ribbon, or this is actually a little piece of strap that I made from some of my scraps. I'm going to be putting this on the side. It's optional, but it will make it a little bit easier to open and close your pouch. And then I'm going to be adding a little No Trace tag to my bag. Step 1, we're going to start with the pattern piece that we made. We're going to be attaching it to our 9-inch zipper. So we're going to put the right side of the zipper face down on top of the right side of our pattern piece, and we're going to line it up at the top edge. And then I like to use metal office clips because they're fully recyclable, so I'm just clipping it on to the pattern piece. Next, we're going to add one of our inside pieces, and we're going to place it with the right side of the inside touching the right side of the outside. And we're going to add it into the clips, making sure to line up that edge at the top. Then we get one of the pieces of batting. Like I said, this is optional. It just will give the bag a little bit more structure. And so I'm just going to add that into the clips as well and make sure that it is lined up. At the machine, I'm going to take my standard presser foot off, and I'm going to swap it out for a zipper foot, so we can get closer to the zipper teeth. Whoop. It just clicks on there. Get the thread out of the way. And now I'm going to bring my bag over, and I'm going to start sewing along this edge. I like to start sewing on the end of the zipper that has the stopper instead of the pull, just because it's a little bit easier to get started in a straight line. Go forward and do a little back stitch. We're using about a 1/4 inch seam allowance here, and just go straight down. When I get near the zipper pull, I'm going to take my last clip off. I'm going to peek inside, and I'm going to lift my presser foot, and I'm going to push this zipper pull back out of the way. So I'm unzipping my zipper and getting that pull out of the way. And then come back and make sure everything is lined up again, and just keep sewing. And make sure to back stitch at the end. Okay, so these 3 are attached to each other. So now we're going to go ahead and open it up. We can close our zipper again. We're going to flip things around so that we now can attach to this side of our zipper. And we again want to put the right side of the outer layer on top of the zipper, and then line it up with that edge, and also line up the sides so that the outside is lined up with the sides of your other panels that you've already attached. And just clip this in place just like so. Then we get one of our inner layers, and we put it right side on top of our other inner layer and add it to the clips. And line up this edge with the zipper and the other piece of fabric. And then we will grab our batting and add it in as well. Over at the machine, I am going to lift the presser foot and again go down with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, making sure to back stitch at the beginning. All right, the second side of the zipper now has the panels connected to it. So what we're going to do next is iron the fabric away from the zipper teeth. So go ahead and grab that iron and you're going to press the fabric so that it doesn't get caught in your zipper. And you can flip it over and do the same with the inner layers. So press that fabric so it's away from your zipper teeth. And then we're going to take this to the machine and we are going to be top stitching along here and here. But the way I like to do it is to open it up so that we're only sewing through this side of our bag and the inner layers are over here. All right, so again, the inner layers are pointed that way and the outer layer is what's going to get top stitched. I'm just going to go straight down, trying to get as close to this edge as I can. It's about 1/8 of an inch or less. All right, this side is done. Now we just flip the bag over and do the other side. Again, we want the inner layer and the batting to be pointed away from our outer layer. So let me open up the zipper all the way so you can kind of see. So the inner layer is pointing that way, and I'm only stitching through the outer layer. Okay, so both sides have been top stitched. I think you can see that okay. So now we're ready to push the sides together, pull the 2 outer sides with the right sides together and pull the 2 inner layers with the right sides together. And we are going to be clipping along the edges of our pouch and taking it over to the machine to sew. Now the way I like to do the clipping is I actually like to open up the zipper about halfway and then start by clipping at the sides with the zipper teeth pointed down towards the inner layers of the pouch and checking that the seams are touching each other so they're lined up nicely with each other. And then I'm going to put a clip right there to hold it in place, and then I'm going to flip it around and do the same thing on this side of the pouch. So folding that zipper so that the tape is pointing towards the inside and the seams are lined up as much as you can with each other. It's a little bit harder here because you have that stopper, but just do your best to get that more or less lined up. And then again, we will get a clip right on. Next, we're going to add the loop. Again, this is optional, but it does make it a little bit easier to open and close your bag, and it gives it a little more pizzazz. So we fold this 3-inch piece of strap or ribbon, fold it in half, and we want the loopy part, the folded edge, to go in between the layers. And we want it to be on the same side as the stopper part of the zipper. Okay, so rather than putting the loop up here with the pull, we're going to be putting it back on the stopper part. So just peek inside your bag. The stopper part is over here. So I'm going to just put this about 1 inch. I'm just eyeballing it. It's about 1 inch away from the zipper. And I'm going to have it stick out about 1/4 of an inch so that I make sure to catch it in my seams. And I can make sure to reinforce that strap in my seam. I'm just going to add a clip. And then I'm also going to add one of my little tags. I'm going to fold that in half. And I'm going to have the words facing the pretty rainbow pattern piece. And I'm going to put it right under my strap here on the side. And then I'm going to clip that in place. And then I'm just going to add a few more clips around the sides of the bag. Now that it's clipped, I'm going to go ahead and stitch all the way around, but I'm going to leave an opening here in the bottom of about 3 or 4 inches so I can turn the whole pouch right side out. Okay, at the machine, I'm going to take my zipper foot off. You don't have to, but it's just a little bit easier to sew the pouch up with my standard presser foot. Click into place. And then I'm going to start sewing near this opening in the inner layers of my pouch, and I'm going to sew all the way around with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, making sure to backstitch at the beginning and the end. As I get near the strap, I'm going to make sure to sew over it a few times so it's really reinforced. Okay, I've stitched all the way around, all 4 sides. Now what we want to do is reach inside through the opening, grab the outer layers, and just pull them all the way through the opening. I'm going to use my handy chopstick to push out the corners on the outer layer. So just reach inside, push, and do the same for the inner layer as well. And all we have to do is press this opening that's in the liner fabric. You can do that with your fingers, or you can take it to the iron. But I'm going to go ahead and just press that with my fingers and stitch it closed right there. All right, there's the seam I just did in the inner layer. Now all we need to do is push the inner layer into the outer layer, and our pouch will be done. Now go ahead and check that your zipper is working. Zipper looks good. Pouch is done. Like I mentioned, there is a free pattern to repeat this rainbow design. It's linked in the description box below this video, so just click into that description box to snag that pattern. I also have a tutorial that walks you through how to use this pattern, so that I will link to right here. And if you made it this far, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the No Trace channel to get notified about all of our videos. We put out a new video every single week on zero waste sewing, crafting, and lifestyle tips.